Breaking news today. If Putin agrees to meet him in The Hague, Lindsey Graham will surrender to Russian authorities. After the Russian Interior Ministry issued an arrest warrant for him on Monday, Senator from South Carolina Lindsey Graham responded by telling Russian President Vladimir Putin that he would gladly surrender to the International Criminal Court, if you do. I will wear the arrest warrant issued by Putin's corrupt and immoral government as a badge of honor, Graham wrote on Twitter alongside a link to an article about the warrant. Knowing that my support for Ukraine has angered Putin's government is a source of great pride for me. In addition, Graham, a prominent hawk on Capitol Hill, visited Ukraine on Friday and met with President Volodymyr Zelensky, assuring him that he had the full support of the U.S. Congress, including Republicans. The meeting was caught on camera and edited to make it seem as though Graham said the Russians are dying, and that military aid to Ukraine is the best money we've ever spent. When asked about the video, Putin's spokesman Dmitry Peskov said, "It's hard to imagine a greater shame for the country than having such senators." It seemed like the order of Graham's comments had been switched around. Russia Today's editor-in-chief Margarita Simonyan also criticized Graham, but in much harsher terms. If Lady Graham is correct in saying that the money spent on killing Russians was the best money the United States has ever spent, then I would like to think that some of Pseudoplatov's students or their descendants still live in our country. In fact, it's quite simple. In a video clip identified on the internet by Russian media analyst Julie Davis, Simonyan can be heard saying, "We have his address." Over the next few days, as NATO foreign ministers gather for a casual meeting in Oslo, James Cleverly will hold talks in Estonia and Norway. While the conflict in Ukraine will undoubtedly take center stage, other topics that are likely to be discussed include Sweden's accession and preparations for the upcoming summit in Vilnius, Lithuania. On his first official visit to Estonia, the British Foreign Secretary will touch down in Tallinn on Tuesday to meet with government officials and tour the Royal Navy's HMS Albion in the Baltic. During his time there, he will likely emphasize Britain's desire for continued close cooperation on European security, particularly in regards to support for Ukraine, which was invaded by Russia last year, and the need to tackle illegal migration. Mr. Cleverly said before leaving for the trip, British personnel are on the front line protecting Europe's security and deterring Russia's cruel and catastrophic aggression in Estonia across land, sea, and air. Together, as members of NATO, we can accomplish more than ever before in the face of adversity and in the defense of democracy and individual liberty. Our diplomats are working around the world to rally allies and strengthen international efforts to ensure that Russian President Vladimir Putin is held accountable for his barbaric behavior. Mr. Cleverly is scheduled to use Wednesday's informal meeting in Norway to lobby for Sweden's membership in NATO before the summit in July. Slowing the Swedish membership process have been objections from Turkey and Hungary. During his time in Estonia, Mr. Cleverly will visit a school for children of Ukrainian refugees and speak with leaders in the country's technology sector.